Hello again, YouTube. I want to do another video. I thought I'd do another video on our life journeys. In this video, I want to share my top 4 bad boy moments as far as with the ladies in my life. The ladies, right? Ups and downs, mostly downs, some ups, in between. But doing those some ups with the ladies, there was a top 4 I like to share. All of us in our life journeys, right, have these encounters with ladies, and I have, in my 45 years of living, I have tons of encounters with exposures with the ladies, and I just wanted to share my top 4 during this video. For another video, a future video, I'm going to share my not so proud moments, my top down, like brutal 4 moments. But for this video, I want to share my top 4 bad boy moments. So I got a list here of my top 4, so I don't forget them and I don't ramble, because I tend to ramble. So I just want to keep the video short and precise, to the point as much as I can. So let's get on with it. The 4th one and I'm gonna go from my youth all the way to my adulthood. So this one, the top 4 is from my youth. So back in the early days, back in the 1600s, no, back in the 80s, I'm old for not that. Back in the 80s, they used to. I don't know if the school still do this or not, but they had these mats. We get our sleep in, little nap time, and then we go back. We start school, and then like about halfway, maybe a little before halfway, they bring out the mats and we sleep, and then we get back at it. They wake us up. Well. So in my childhood, I got picked on quite a bit by both girls and the guys. I'm this dark skinned kid, kind of skinny, a little bit tall, but there was one girl that took an interest in me, and I took an interest in her, and she was light-skinned. The type I like, me being a dark dude, it's just embedded in me. I love the light-skinned girls, and the red bones, and the Creoles from Louisiana. And but this was elementary school. I'm maybe like 5, 6, 7, around that age, and she was around that age, but this is a light-skinned girl, and she took interest in me, and I took interest in her, and they had our mats like assigned, but the teacher stepped out, and I was assigned a little bit closer, and she was assigned a little bit close to me. And I decided when the teacher went out, to scoot my mat a little closer to her, and then we both was fake sleeping. All the other kids was asleep conveniently, right? Lucked out. It was just luck, and I put my mat close to her. And I decided, you know what? Screw my mat. So I put my mat close to her, but then I put it right back in the assigned area, and I went on her mat, and we cuddled, and we made out. And I wanted to just lay with her forever, but I knew the teacher was going to come back eventually, so we cuddled and made out. It seemed like forever. I was a little kid, but like it was a couple of minutes, and I went back to my mat, and yeah, that was a good day. So that was a top 4. As far as being a bad boy, it started out as a little kid, y'all. It started from the bottom. So yeah, that was the top 4 moment. So let's get to number 3. So number 3, I was a little bit older, maybe a preteen, like 10, 11 years old. And this girl from across the street, she lived close by me. She lived close by me across the street. And then we rode the same bus. We was in the same area. This girl bullied me, man. She saw me, and instantly, like, she was bullying me. And as a preteen, dark skin, I would just get bullied constantly. It's like a tradition for me, man. I get the whoopings from home, I get the whoopings from the school, and then I get the whoopings off the bus, and then it's just back and forth and forth. And she was part of that whooping crew. And she was whooping me, and I was like, you know what? This girl, she's kind of cute. I kind of enjoyed it a little bit. I kind of enjoyed some of her whoopings. She was a cute girl, cute bully girl. I was like, you know what? I'm getting these whoopings by the neighborhoods and by her. I'm going to try to get something out of her. So sure enough, the next morning she went to bully me, and I kissed her. Right when she was about to slap me, I kissed her on her lips, and she stopped. Oh, somebody went, hello. She stopped, and she was like, she just froze before she slapped me, and I kissed her, and I ran. So the next day she went to bully me again, and I grabbed her, and like kind of groped her, and made out with her again. And like she was like, and I was quick. I'm so used to running back in the early days that I was quick, and I ran, and then she just kept coming for me, and I kept coming for her. And you know what? Eventually she gave in. She kissed and made out with me, and we was kind of doing our thing after school. Didn't get in a relationship with her, but we was kind of doing our thing, making out, and yeah. So that was my top three of the bad boys. So I convert a bully into making out and everything. Eventually, I moved and but yeah, that was as a kid. It was constantly like nomads. My family moving from place to place, and and I'm getting whippings, beatings in different areas throughout Louisiana. But no, that was a top three of my bad boys. So let's get to the second one. Got my notes here. So this one happened in, I say, like in my 20s, like teen to 20s. I was in the military, and I was just shooting my shot at the ladies and all. I didn't get any steadies. I can only count like on one hand, possibly two of the relationships I had. I made a video, only had one adult. When I became an adult, I only had one relationship. But I had my little flings and my little bouts, and this one here I consider my top two one. So that was this girl that in the military, she had her steady boyfriend, but I seen she was kind of crushing on me a little bit. As a light skinned girl, the red bones, that's the type I type, and I tend the type that kind of like me when I do get some action or when I do get some interest. So she was a red bone, so she was kind of staring at me, so I just smiled at her, and of course her face was just neutral. But she kept looking. And so I smiled, and I was like, I got bold. So as I was walking past her, and her man wasn't there, but I kind of just glazed her a little bit, and she smiled. So I was like, oh, okay, bet. Knowing this girl have a boyfriend, which not my proudest moment. So we was waiting for the kind of local military bus to take us. The base is kind of huge, so they took us around, and she was sitting with her boyfriend, and I kind of touched her hand with her boyfriend. Like her boyfriend wasn't paying attention, but I touched her hand with her boyfriend, and she didn't move it. And I started, this girl had a badonkadunk, right, kind of round badonkadunk, and I groped her ass. I groped it, and she let me, and her man was right there, and but he didn't do. Not my proudest moment. Shame on me. I should have respected the relationship, but I'm young. This is a bad boy video, so this is my bad boy moment. And so she let me do that. Then the bus came, and then we sat on the bus, and her man was like, they was holding hands and stuff. But occasionally she looked at me, and I kind of winked and smiled. So yeah, and and then the next day she was walking, and her man wasn't around, and I'm with her, and then we made out and did our thing, Not my proudest moment, but this is a bad boy video, and that was my second bad boy moment. Yeah. So this is the number one bad boy moment. And like I said, I'm going to make a video where I had like my brutal moments, but this is the 4 times my bad boy moments where I lucked out, I guess. My looks was sufficient enough to get it in. But this is the top one. So I'm at the McDonald's. I'll say this one, I was out the military, 26, 27. I was kind of in the college range, but I went to this local McDonald's. What city was this? This was in Kansas, the junior college, and in Salina, Kansas. And I was at this McDonald's just chilling, and of course the red bones, the yellow bones, this girl come in, and from the jump, she seen me and smiled, and I smiled. And this girl was bad, man, curvy, badonkadunk, like chest and everything. And she got her food, and I was sitting down, she sat in front of me, and she had her food, and I had our food, and I was like, hey, you're hot. So I took my tray and was sitting next to her, and we talking, and all of a sudden we started making out, and we was hot and heavy, man. And it was, the McDonald's was slow. That was this is just some trying. The McDonald's was slow. It was just a few staff. They was actually shorthanded, but it was slow, and it was just me and her, and we getting hot and heavy in there, and we took it to the McDonald's restaurant. And we got it inside the McDonald's restaurant. We got it in. Yep, that was the top moment of my adult life. Not the probably like this dirty, nasty, not the most boastful, but for a bad boy, I guess it is. But that is my top 4 moments with the ladies in my life. What are your top moments? You have anything to share? I'm the Not a Secret Leroy Clark, and thanks for watching. Bye.